The Kansas City Chiefs have proven once again that they own the Los Angeles Chargers, and we're going to take a look at a detailed overview of the Chiefs and Chargers game, and the Chiefs doing just that, owning them with the Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce connection time and time again. Talk about standout plays and players and much freaking more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs. So make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button if Travis Kelce owns the entire Chargers franchise after that performance, and let's get into this overview. The game started out with Jody Fortson being used early on a quick slant to convert the Chiefs' first down. It's worth noting that on both of his catches, he was actually used out wide, which makes quite a bit of sense since the Chiefs were without multiple receivers, A, and B, Fortson was a wide receiver prior to converting to tight end a few years ago. On the third game of the play, Mahomes got absolutely drilled, was able to get the ball out, but it was a scary sight to see. It appeared to be a miss by Andrew Wiley, but Kelce was around the area, so was Noah Gray, so I'm not actually sure. And then on this same opening drive, Pacheco ran a very nice 28-yarder with the help of an absolute monster block by Trey Smith. This was the longest run of the night, and Pacheco looked very good very early, but for whatever reason after this run, he was put on the sideline and CEH was put in. And weirdly enough, Pacheco did not see a single carry on the following Chiefs drive either. CEH did. Clyde did have a good initial hard-fought run for 6 yards, but then injured his ankle a little bit later. More on that later, but on this drive, still in the first one, rookie wide receiver Sky Moore had a clutch catch on 3rd and 7 with Derwin James in coverage, and this was one of several clutch catches from the rookie on the night. And the Chiefs ended up kicking a field goal after back-to-back misses to Travis Kelce, one I believe he dropped, but then he slipped and fell on the next. The Chargers then proceeded to march down the field and strike almost as fast as lightning. You like that pun? On their opening drive with a 50-yard bomb to Palmer and what appeared to be blown coverage of sorts by Joshua Williams in the secondary. I think for some reason, he thought the ball was going to be thrown to the more shallow receiver and opted to pursue that instead of who he had in coverage. And then boom. Touchdown very quick by the Chargers. I don't think that was Thornhill's fault, but I am no expert. You guys let me know your thoughts on that 50-yard strike. On the following drive, though, Mahomes connects with Kelce for 27 as somehow Kelce gets wide open in coverage, one of many on the night, time and time again. I mean, you game plan to stop Travis Kelce and you can't freaking do it because he's that good. CEH then sprained his ankle on a 2nd and 2 a couple plays later, and it's hard to tell exactly what happened, but Andy Reid called it a high ankle sprain. Butker tacked on another field goal after an incompletion to MVS on 3rd down, a semi-questionable no call on that play as it looked like MVS got yanked back a little bit there, but whatever. On the following drive, Mike Williams had an incredible catch one-on-one versus L'Jarius Sneed and consequently re-injured his ankle that was supposedly 200% and was eventually ruled out of the game, so I guess the ankle wasn't that good after all. Remember, guys, this was their Super Bowl. It makes sense why these guys were playing, even though they weren't 200%. The defense holds, though, with a great pass breakup by Sneed in the end zone, and the Chargers end up getting 3 instead of a touchdown, going up 10-6, and after an illegal quote-unquote illegal crackback block call on Kadarius Toney, Mahomes scrambles on this play, buying time, and completes a nice pass to Justin Watson on a 2nd and 21, making it a somewhat more manageable 3rd and 8, to which Mahomes converts a huge play to Travis Kelce, where he's able to snake his little self down the sideline for a nice gain, moving the chains, let's freaking go. Then a couple of plays later, Mahomes throws an absolute thing of beauty. It might be the best throw of the night to tight end Jody Fortson, who goes in motion in the backfield, then runs a route up the sideline. Mahomes gets him one-on-one and threads a perfect pass at the perfect time. A 40-yard dime to Fortson, and then Travis Kelce waltzes into the end zone on the next play via a bubble screen thanks to some nice blocks by Gray and Fortson, where he bounces to the outside and nobody can do a freaking thing about it. I do like how this guy slaps the ball out of the air, though. Like, that's supposed to help the fact that he got dominated on that play. What a little freaking baby. A thing to note here, on the Chiefs' first 4 drives, the tight ends caught 7 passes for 120 yards and a touchdown. Meanwhile, all the others that were thrown to, so receivers, running backs, etc., caught 3 passes for 30 yards. That is insane. Anyway, next up, Herbert connects on a quick pass. McDuffie gets juked out, but Chris Jones makes a great pursuit tackle. What an effort by the legend. Jalen Watson had a nice tackle for loss a couple plays later, helped out a tad by Trent McStuffy, his new nickname. Carlos Dunlap then slaps the ball down, making it 3rd and 12, in which Mike Dana gets an incredible sack on Herbert. Not his only sack of the night, and you love to see it. Sadly, though, Chiefs were quickly shut down on the next drive after Mahomes threw a pass to Kelce that bounced off his back, so they had to punt. The Chargers then ended up driving down the field with relative ease, converting a 3rd and inches near the goal line and then running in for 6. And on that play, Nick Bolton was actually called for a face mask, in which the penalty was enforced on the kickoff, and Isaiah Pacheco made a mistake there on the kickoff, catching the ball at the 5-yard line and stepping out of bounds. A rookie mistake, and one that he hopefully won't make again. Regardless, the damage was done, and the Chiefs got the ball on the 5 instead of the 40, a 35-yard loss, and quickly went 3 and out after incompletions to both MVS and Kelce. The next drive, the defense held the Chargers. They would have had to punt, but on a 3rd down scramble by Justin Herbert, Nick Bolton shoved him late when he was out of bounds, drawing a personal foul. Very rare sighting of Nick Bolton out there with those back-to-back almost personal foul calls. Anyway, the chains got moved. The Chargers drove all the way to the goal line, but L'Jarius Sneed makes a nice tackle for loss here on this play. And then on 3rd and 2, Herbert got pressured and somehow still got the ball out to Keenan Allen while being pulled down by, I think it was Chris Jones. And once again, Sneed made a great play, this time in coverage. Extend Sneed as soon as possible, please, and thank you. Well, this forced the Chargers to a field goal, again, rather than a TD, and basically ended the half with the Chiefs trailing by 7. The Chargers started out the second half with the ball, but not so fast, because after a great tackle for loss by Gay and Josh Williams, Mike Dana sacked Herbert on 3rd and 12. Second sack of the day, ending the drive. The Chiefs then had a very interesting drive to start the 3rd quarter, in which Pacheco ran the ball 4 times in a row, starting off with an 18-yard run, followed by a 9-yard run, then an 8-yard run, and a 4-yard run, and then after an incomplete pass on a free play, McKinnon ran 3 times in a row. Then Pacheco came back in on a 3rd and short, maybe 3rd and inches, and literally goes absolutely nowhere, which results in, once again, a Chiefs field goal from Butker, bringing the game within 4 points. So I know that drive only resulted in a field goal, but they ran the ball 8 times in 9 plays. Take that how you would like to, but I liked it aside from the run on 3rd and 1, but I'm sure I would have liked it if they converted, so whatever. The next drive, though, the Chiefs defense made a great stop on an Eckler run, forcing a punt, and then on the first play of the following drive, Derwin James sacked Mahomes after tossing Pacheco aside like a ragdoll. Crazy enough, I believe this was Pacheco's only pass blocking attempt of the game, but hey, Derwin James is a freaking animal, so no real shade to Pacheco here. And then on 3rd and 17, the O-line holds, and Mahomes throws an absolute strike to Justin Watson, who once again comes up clutch in a moment of need for the team. And then a couple of plays later on 3rd and 7, another receiver comes up big, and that was the rookie, Sky Moore, who beat Derwin James off the line and keeps the drive alive. And then a couple plays later, yes, a third down conversion on a 3rd and 4. Travis Kelce gets open, and with some great freaking blocks that you can see right here by Fortson and Gray, Kelce works his way down the right sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown number 2 on the night for Kelce, and I cannot believe that the Chargers simply don't have an answer. Really, any team doesn't have an answer for Travis Kelce. They know Mahomes is going to look his way, so why don't you try to do something about it? It's probably because Patrick Mahomes is that good. Travis Kelce's the freaking GOAT, and he helps put the Chiefs up by 3 points. The next drive, after the Chargers moved down the field quickly, Nick Bolton stripped the ball out of Keenan Allen's hands on a wide receiver screen, and with 10 minutes left in the 4th, Chiefs up by 1, 2, 3. Mahomes and Sky Moore have a great connection here on this play, an absolutely incredible catch by the rookie as he's falling to the ground, and now the Chiefs are threatening to possibly make this a 2-score game, but not so fast, as McKinnon, in turn, fumbled on a screenplay. So, like the drive prior that the Chargers had, Keenan Allen fumbled on a screenplay. McKinnon then follows suit. So, back-to-back drives resulting in fumbles. Chargers getting the ball back with 6 minutes left in the 4th, and it looked like the Chiefs defense was going to hold them as well when Willie Gay sacked Herbert on a 2nd and 12, making it 3rd and 18. Well, on that 3rd down play, the Chargers line holds, and Herbert throws an absolute dime to Keenan Allen with Joshua Williams in coverage for 46 yards. A pretty costly play for the defense, yes, but honestly a great play by Herbert and Allen. When I watched it live, all I could do was shake my head. A few plays later, Herbert Herbert confuses the Chiefs' young secondary, connects with Palmer in the end zone for a touchdown, putting them up by 4 with 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the game. So Mahomes and company have just under 2 minutes, 2 timeouts, and 1 drive to get it done. On the first play, Mahomes connects with MVS for 18 yards, the only catch of the night for MVS. Then Mahomes scrambles for 6 yards to the sideline, then connects with Sky Moore for 13. Nice play. Then scrambles up the middle on the next play, I believe, for 16 yards. Timeout Kansas City with 37 seconds remaining and down around the 16-yard line, threatening to strike. And strike is exactly what they do on the very next play, as once again Mahomes connects with Kelce as he was left one-on-one with Derwin James, and Kelce clearly won his route, smoking him like a Cuban cigar, scoring his 3rd touchdown of the evening and making it a 3-point game. Chiefs up. And the craziest part about this play, we will get into in another video, but it's the same style play, almost the same exact play that they beat the Chargers with in overtime when Kelce called game. Absolutely incredible. So Mahomes responded to the occasion, drove down the field, put up points, Chiefs lead. Now, can Justin Herbert do the same with 31 seconds on the clock and all 3 timeouts? All they need is a field goal to tie it and force overtime. Well, Herbert attempted to scramble on the first play, but Chris Jones said, "Nah, fam," wrapping him up like a blanket, putting him on the ground softly so he didn't get a flag. Then on 2nd and 15 with the pocket collapsing, Herbert tries to force a pass to Keenan Allen in double coverage, and the pass is tipped up by Deion Bush and picked off by Nick Bolton. Game over, Chiefs win. Deion Bush, by the way, hadn't played a defensive snap in a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure, and came up really big here. But man, what on earth was Justin Herbert thinking? It was only 2nd down and they had 2 timeouts and like 25 seconds left on the clock. Oh well, because the Chiefs win it in thrilling fashion, and this game marked the 4th in a row between the Chiefs and Chargers that ended in a 1-score game, and the Chiefs now basically own the AFC West once again, making it 7 years in a row, barring any major catastrophe. So if I pull up the team stats of this game, the Chiefs had a few more first downs. They had 50% 3rd down conversion rate, so about average for them, but sometimes they do a little bit better than that. 485 total yards, though. Monstrous, 322 yards in the air, but a big key for the Chiefs, man. 163 yards rushing. They had 27 rushing attempts and averaged 6 yards a rush. Now, the Chargers' run defense is not good. We talked about that in my preview video, so I guess it's not a complete surprise, but I'm still very happy to see it, and I'm very happy to see the young buck, Isaiah Pacheco, get over 100 yards rushing. This was the first time, I believe, since week 4 of 2021 that a Chiefs running back rushed for 100 or more yards, so very noteworthy. Tip of the cap to Isaiah Pacheco. Patrick Mahomes, 20 for 34, 329 yards, averaging 9.7 yards per reception, 3 TDs, only 1 sack, which is crazy because he was getting pressured a lot earlier on in the game. Isaiah Pacheco led the rushing room, 15 carries, 107 yards, averaged 7.1 yards per carry. Jerick McKinnon was next, 6 for 24. Then Mahomes, 4 for 23. CEH, again, pretty sad, but 2 for 9. Ankle sprain. We'll talk injuries in a moment here, but pretty sad for CH. He might be out for a while here. As far as receiving goes, Travis Kelce goes all the way off. 6 receptions, 115 yards, 19.2 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns with a long of 34. Then Justin Watson had 3 for 67. Sky Moore, big day for the rookie. That's a big confidence booster for Sky, who sees a new receiver coming in, handling punts, taking snaps that he might have been getting, but he got his opportunity and made the most of it, and I'm very happy for Sky Moore. Then, of course, you had that crazy catch by Jody Fortson. So a lot of good stuff here. Nick Bolton, 14 tackles, 10 solo, a pass defense. Then he had the strip sack and the game-closing, game-ending interception. Willie Gay, 11 tackles. Joshua Williams had 7. But if we're looking at the D-line real quick here, Chris Jones had 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss. Mike Dana, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. And then Harrison freaking Butker, man, 3 for 3 on field goals, 3 for 3 on extra points. He scored 12 points for the Chiefs. Perfect in his game last night, and that's why I'm going to give the special teams game ball, bar none, hands down, to Harrison Butker. We're going to give the offensive game ball to Travis Kelce. I mean, 6 receptions, 115 yards, 3 TDs. He owns the freaking Chargers. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or debate. They can't do anything about it. Derwin James does a good job, but dude, they can't contain this man. He's too good. You could give an honorary game ball to Isaiah Pacheco for getting over 100, which we called it in my preview video. I said, hey, I think Isaiah Pacheco's going to hit the best run game of his life, possibly get 100 yards, and we freaking did it. Let's go. I didn't do anything. I just talk a lot, and that's it. But Isaiah Pacheco, hats off to you. Honorary game ball to him. Offensive game ball to Kelce. I'm going to give the defensive game ball to Nick Bolton for the strip sack and the game-ending interception and leading the team in tackles, although a real case could be made for Chris Jones with 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. And on top of that, with Chris Jones, he also had 4 QB hits. So Bolton or Jones, I mean, I'd give it to them both. But also in the conversation, L'Jarius Sneed's up there, 2 passes defense. He was all over the place, had a tackle for loss. Ooh, you like that lighting change? It's actually because I was editing this video and realized I was an idiot. Forgot to talk about the injuries when I initially recorded this video. So there are 4 main ones. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a high ankle sprain. He could be out for weeks, but we really have no idea. And the Chiefs are pretty secretive about that kind of stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. I will say this, we might see Ronald Jones play next week for the first time. Running back Derek Gore also tweeted out eyeball emojis today, so we could also possibly see running back Derek Gore get signed to the Chiefs practice squad. He's currently a free agent. I think last week he was quietly released from the Saints where he signed. And yeah, so we might maybe see Derek Gore with the practice squad for running back depth, and we might see Ronald Jones actually suit up for a game. The next injury, Kadarius Toney, his hamstring tightened up. This is sadly like his 3rd or 4th deal with a hamstring injury of sorts this season. A couple times this offseason with the Giants, once at the beginning of the season with the Giants, healed up, was traded, and now he's dealing with it again here. We don't know the extent, so I don't want to jump to conclusions until we hear a bit more. But Kadarius Toney was pulled, I think, sometime in the 2nd quarter or maybe the beginning of the 3rd and didn't play the rest of the game, as we saw Sky Moore returning punts in his absence. The 3rd one, Juan Thornhill strained his calf, his left calf, if you want to know which one. To what extent, we don't know. Again, the Chiefs are super secretive about this stuff, so we're just going to have to keep an eye on the injury report this week and see, did he participate? Was he limited? If he starts out limited, that might be a good sign that the calf strain wasn't so bad. The last one, Jalen Watson, he hurt his hand, per the words of Coach Reed. How bad did he hurt his hand? I have no idea. He was supposed to have a signing event today in the Kansas City area, and they canceled it because of injury. So I don't think it's anything crazy like he has to have hand surgery or anything wild like that. I wouldn't think so. I think he just has to go through protocol with being injured with the trainers and the doctors and all that stuff on this day. It's the day after the game. Someone pointed that out on Twitter. That is way smarter than me, so hats off to whoever told me that. And then the last thing, Coach Reed in his presser today was asked about offensive tackle Lucas Niang, as I think Wednesday is the 21-day window closing on him getting off the reserve PUP list. So I think the team can either activate him to the roster or they have to put him on IR for the entire season. They have a couple days to do that. Coach Reed actually sounded pretty optimistic that he will get some playtime. He said he won't be a starter. He needs to talk with Brett Veach and talk through some things, but he's looking good in practice, and you may very well see him start to get worked in. So that was a positive sign about Lucas Niang. You might see him back. And from here, I want to talk real quick what Andy Reid said for Chiefs fans, advice on watching Mahomes and Kelce. He said, we're a part of it, and that's the fun part. You'd like it to last forever, but these guys grow old, and you know it's not going to last forever. So what I do is I try to enjoy every minute of it, every play. That's what we need to do, guys. We need to enjoy this. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the connection is absolutely insane. I mean, Travis Kelce is up to 11 receiving TDs this season, already tied for the most in his career in a season, and we're only just over halfway through. He's also on pace for a career high in catches, yards, and TDs this season at age 33, and now has 33 games with 100-plus yards, more than any other tight end in NFL history. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He has more TDs than any other QB in the NFL, more receiving yards than any other QB in the NFL. It's not close. He is one of the main candidates for MVP, And you really can't argue it or even closely debate it unless you are slip brainless and you say stupid stuff for a living and get paid a lot of money. But I digress. A couple other things I want to touch on is this stat. The Chiefs defense is now tied for 4th in the NFL in sacks through 10 games. They sacked Herbert 5 times. Joe Cullen, I think, has sparked the defense, the D-line in particular, and they're playing absolutely lights out. So again, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. Standout plays. Players, what do you think about the Mahomes to Kelce connection? Please enjoy it every minute. Soak it in because we're watching greatness and it will not be here forever. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?